What if Imo State could turn its vast energy resources into one of the most ambitious industrial projects in Southeast Nigeria? That is the vision behind the Orashi Special Energy Free Zone, a major project championed by the administration of Governor Hope Uzodinma, located around the oil and gas-rich areas of Oguta and Ohaji-Egbema. The Orashi project is designed to go far beyond a conventional industrial estate. It is envisioned as an integrated energy and industrial hub, bringing together gas-based industries, manufacturing, petrochemicals, power generation, logistics, and trade. The Imo State government says implementation of the zone began in 2024 in Enugu and Abache communities in Ohaji-Egbema, but there is an even bigger component to the vision. The Uzodinma's administration has linked the project to the development of the Oguta Lake and Orashi River waterway, with the ambition of creating a maritime route connecting Imo State to the Atlantic Ocean. And if that vision becomes reality, the equation changes dramatically. Energy could power industry, industry could drive exports, and the waterway could connect Imo's industrial heartland to international markets. This is the story of Orashi Special Energy Free Zone, one of Governor Hope Uzodinma's most ambitious attempts to transform Imo State into an energy and industrial hub.
Orashi Energy Free Trade Zone is the only free trade zone in Nigeria with hydrocarbon deposit.
Orashi Special Energy Free Zone is an ambitious, transformational industrial platform conceived by Imo State government and its partners to take advantage of the vast energy resource that we have in Imo State.
This particular area we are talking about is the oil kingdom of the Southeast.
We have 7 oil producing companies. None has an office in Imo State. Imo State government has no access to their nominal role to even collect pay as you earn, tax. And then everything is about waiting for monthly allocation. And I said, no, it must change. I had a meeting with all the oil producing companies. And I said, you must have your address here, including those that are partly owned by Imo State government with no business outfit anywhere in the state, operating from Lagos. I said, no. We must build an economy here. At the end of the day, they gave me reasons. Insecurity, we brought security. Accommodation where to stay, no 5-star hotel. I said, we put. Marriott is managing Protea. By the time Marriott will finish, I've signed an agreement to Hilton International. The work in the Concord Hotel, old Concord Hotel built by Mbakwe, the upgrade to a 5-star hotel is 75% complete. We'll commission this year. And I said, if you want my cooperation to protect your facilities, it must be a relationship that is based on reciprocity, where the indigenous will benefit, the government will benefit, and you will benefit. We'll give you the enabling environment to operate, but we must get value from it. And how do we do that? We cannot be source of raw materials alone. You have to process the raw materials in Imo State. That way you will be creating jobs. And they all agreed.
Before now, there were no records of production activities. People didn't know where our wells were. Governor Hope Uzodinma came. The first thing he did was to recover a lot of wells from Imo State in the Akre and Mbede fields. Now, the governor gave us a mandate. I won't believe it. Today, we have a comprehensive data of all oil wells in Imo State, oil facilities in Imo State, gas pipeline, their traverse routes, producing wells, non-producing wells, shut-in wells, wells that have been re-entered. If you look at some publication, they will tell you Imo State has only 163 wells. It's a very big lie. We have over 200 producing wells. We have more than 76 shut-in wells. And some of them, there are plans, to re-enter some of them. And we have more than 20 proposed wells.
Orashi Special Energy Free Trade Zone, a very transformative initiative by Imo State government and its partners, inviting businesses who wish to grow their businesses, particularly in the oil and gas business. For example, those who want to set up methanol plants, fertilizer plant, LNG, refinery, or manufacturing company to come to Imo State and be at the free trade zone and take advantage of the benefits of situating their businesses in Orashi Special Energy Free Trade Zone.
Orashi Energy Free Trade Zone is the only free trade zone in Nigeria with hydrocarbon deposit.
Orashi Special Energy Zone, which today is rated the largest free trade zone in Nigeria, on a landmass of about 140,000 hectares of land, is a unique business enclave where gas is used for industrial growth and development. So they are going to attract a lot of investment in gas and innovation.
But the good news doesn't end there. The president only a few days ago, as we've heard from the Honourable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, granted Governor Hope Uzodinma's request to declare Oguta, Ohaji-Egbema and environs as an oil and gas free trade zone. This proposed free trade zone has one of the largest hydrocarbon deposits in the country. Again, this is another clear winner. The synergy between the dredge sea route and the free trade zone will deliver enormous commercial benefits.
So 3 key milestones have already been highlighted. One is the Orashi Special Energy Free Trade Zone. The second one is the Orashi Power Project. The third one is the Digital Economy Framework. They represent a major shift when they are relating with the oil and gas industry. Ohaji-Egbema and Oguta has been on the petroleum map for as long as many of us here have been alive. So anyone that has been in that industry knows about that free zone area, the importance of Ohaji-Egbema and Oguta in the gas footprint of Nigeria. The strategic move being made now by our governor presents a transformative shift that literally connects Imo State to the vibrant segment of the energy corridor stretching from rivers through Bayelsa and Delta.
The idea was conceived under the leadership of His Excellency Senator Hope Uzodinma, whose idea of having this Orashi Special Energy Free Trade Zone fits into his broader vision, his broader economic transformative vision for Imo State and for the Southeast. What this does is that it enables the state create employment, create internally generated revenue. It enables the state become a trade and energy hub for the Southeast.
So I'm speaking with the King of Morocco for a fertilizer plant. Ano Gas 1 has been commissioned. Gas 2 is 80% complete.
Regarding our domestic gas obligation, by the end of this week, we are going to complete our energy needs assessment, and we are going to sign a gas sale and purchase agreement with Ano Gas processing plant. The state intends to take about 100 million scof of gas from them to power our power plant in Egbema, which is 378 megawatts, the upcoming fertilizer plant, the methanol plant, the petrochemicals, and the LNG in the Orashi Energy Special Zone. We have a company called Watersmith that are going to take 30 million scope from there. Watersmith is also doing 75 megawatts of power, and they have their own industrial park. We have about 75 companies have indicated interest that they'll take up spaces there.
But when I listen to Dr. C and see the work that they've done in the free trade zone, I am pleading with the leaders of this state to be able to look at agro-processing as one of the key drivers for this state to become one of the most economic blocks in the country. I took a drive out to try to go to the free trade zone because I really wanted to see for myself everything I heard yesterday. I am telling you, I am impressed beyond words. And this has nothing to do with anything. I am impressed beyond words.
Now we are bringing other industries to come here in the oil and gas industry, in the agriculture sector, education, food security. Like I just mentioned, Bureau Veritas will be here. They are building one of the biggest laboratories financed by a freezing bank in Africa for testing hydrocarbon.
Because of the abundant natural gas resources in Imo State, you have Axela, who are trying to do CNG. You have Nigerian Gas Marketing Company. They've acquired their land. They will start construction of mother station for CNG. You have Hamakan. You have Greenville. I have Koshon Energy. Then you have a Bokia that wants to do condensate refinery in the special energy zone.
Working with NUPRC, we saw that from their records, Imo State has the highest deposit of natural gas in this region.
That means that if Imo were to be a country, Imo should be about the 16th largest gas-producing nation in the world, at the same level with countries like Kazakhstan, Canada, or Egypt.
The 40 cubic feet of gas plants and 200 million barrels of condensate production benchmark, earlier inaugurated in 2024 by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is set to commence operations in Nasa community of Imo State in July 2025.
We are ready now to start commissioning the plant with gas. So from July this year, Imo State will join one of the biggest states for gas production in the country.
I'm happy that they're about to go into operation.
Imo is a major oil and gas producing state. In Imo State today, we have 7 major oil and gas producing companies. Shell, now named the Renaissance, Wando, Antam Producing, Walter Smith, Sterling Global, Seplat, and the Ano gas processing plants 1 and 2. Then there's an 8th one, Sahara Upstream. Apart from that, there are some other oil companies that are ready to come and they start drilling. You have Orashi Petroleum, where the state government has an interest. You have the Hilltop Petroleum. Then you have OPLs that people are struggling to invest in, 207, 208, and 901. They have some other marginal fields like Njaba 1, 2, Mbidi 1 and 2, Ofrola, and a whole lot of them.
We have had opportunities to sit back and look at the milestones that were decided at the beginning of the project. Most of those milestones have been greatly achieved. All statutory approvals have been obtained. Approvals from the federal government and its agencies and clearances from its regulatory and environmental agencies. We have achieved all those approvals. The zone is ready to run. All approvals are in place. The zone spans across 4 local governments in the state: Oguta local government, Ohaji-Egbema local government, Owerri West, and Oguta local government areas.
All those areas have a lot of rich natural resources.
140,000 hectares of land already acquired and already been assigned to investors who want to be part of this success journey.
To put it in context, the Dangote petrochemical facility sits on about 2,600 acres of land. That means that our free trade zone can take 58 such facilities.
A lot of companies are coming, foreign direct investment.
We have a concentration of investors, not only in the power sector, oil and gas, plastics, agriculture. We have even in the transport and the energy sector.
If you are inclined to use gas, you'll be at the zone that has the gas resources. If you are inclined to do manufacturing, we have other parts of this zone where you can situate your industries.
I think it's the best economic miracle we are about witnessing in the Southeast, not only in Imo State, because the corridor extends beyond Imo.
It's really attractive place for investors to come in. Each time I fly to Owerri from Lagos, the flights are always full. And I keep wondering, why is the flight always full? But I didn't realize that from Imo State, you can get into Abia State, by road. You can get into Anambra, you can get to Enugu. All that place is more like, it's actually a very well centrally located hub that can really transform that whole region.
Our sister Dr. C just gave us a very incredible vision. If you have a free trade zone that has energy put in there, we should be talking about agro-processing for Imo State. Imo State is this nation's 2nd largest producer of cassava, especially if you have a free trade zone. Imo State has one of the largest women farming organizations in the country. Industrialization in Imo is not new. Transferring from farm to processing to agro into international products is something that is within the wherewithal of the state. You don't have to generate anything else new because this is what you do.
You are speaking with the King of Morocco for a fertilizer plant. Ano Gas 1 has been commissioned. Gas 2 is 80% complete.
This massive gas resource base that's actually attracted us in there, and that's why we've been building this plant for a while. And then the free trade zone has come on board now to leverage on this unique energy opportunity.
The zone is set to achieve the federal government's Decade of Gas drive by ensuring that we monetize the gas that is in the state.
Like every free trade zone in the world is an industrial hub where you could set up all kinds of industries.
It's a multi-hub of many sectors, of gas industrialization sectors, of manufacturing and heavy industry sectors, of agro-processing sectors, many other sectors.
And I think for me, if I look back today, I think it's a very good idea that Imo State government has actually stepped up.
The zone also represents the drive the governor has with his 3R agenda to equate infrastructure in the state, bring in manufacturing, and create the enabling environment that supports it.
The first thing is to give commendation to His Excellency Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma, Governor of Imo State. Before him, nobody talked about a free trade zone to this level in the Southeast, not to talk of Imo.
Governor of the state, Senator Hope Uzodinma, has done so well with roads. Infrastructure in the state is amazing.
I know it's coming with roads, it's coming with rail lines, but there will be hospitals, there will be more schools, there will be more money, and there will be more life.
There's good plans to ensure that the Sam Bakwe International Cargo Airport, the cargo section of it, is operational.
If you are going to the airport now, there is 100 hectares of land set aside for Orashi Export Processing Zone. Going to the airport, less than 10-15 minutes to the airport terminal.
Any investor any business within the zone is assured of our integrated package. The cargo airport has already advanced in terms of development, finishing it up, enabling businesses within the zone to be able to take out their goods through air cargo or through the port.
So all the products coming out of the export processing zone, if you want freight by air, you will have it in Imo. If you want by sea, you will have it by the corridor to the Atlantic Ocean, also for Orashi investment.
It's a very special pleasure for me to join you at this historic flag-off of the hydrographic survey and dredging of the proposed sea route from Oguta Lake, Orashi-Egbema to the Atlantic Ocean. This project is a vital collaboration between the state government, the Nigerian Navy, and a consortium of technical partners. It was initiated and approved under the stewardship of President Muhammadu Buhari and Governor Hope Uzodinma.
The assurance I'm giving to Imo people is that by July, those who deal in domestic gas like LPG, they will stop going to Kwale to buy LPG, because transporting one truck of gas or LPG from Kwale costs at least 1 million naira. So by the time they start going to Asa to buy it, that transportation cost will be totally eliminated.
But on top of this integrated system as well is the Afrexim Bank Quality Assurance Center. The Afrexim Bank Quality Assurance Center enables investors to have opportunity to test and certify their products. And this makes sure that it meets the global standards so they can take it out of the region and take it out of Africa, anywhere in the world, and the goods are accepted. There's plans to make sure we dredge the river and put a port that enable investors take out goods and get to regional markets and bring goods to run their factories. We are aware that we have many critical stakeholders, and each of them has incentives as well as benefits.
When you have anchor tenants who will be in a zone that has easy immigration rules, easy cost guidelines, they can easily import goods, they can clear them, it encourages them to come, and then they have energy access, quick mass productivity, very, very cheap.
We're finalizing our documentation with our anchor investors. So what we do is to provide a zone where you have opportunity to prosper. We are governed by Oil and Gas Free Zone Authority. So this provides a seamless opportunity to have a one-stop shop to process all your needs in terms of your custom need, in terms of your immigration needs, in terms of your getting to know about your taxation. We make sure that every investor or any business that's within our zone, you are able to process all this.
So at the end of the day, we have the companies, they'll have cheap products, they make more profits, more people will come, there'll be more employment, the state will benefit, the region will be developed, and Nigeria will benefit.
Invested close to almost $900 million, so it's not cheap. And then you now start spending that money, hoping that one day you get a product, and then bang, you then have gas for the first time from the upstream plant. I mean, it's a historic moment for us.
We are bringing other industries to come here in the oil and gas industry, education, food security. Oriverators will be here. They are building one of the biggest laboratories for testing hydrocarbon.
In the zone, you have the oil and gas companies, you have the annual gas processing plant, Seplat, Naezans, Water Speed. You have a number of other companies who are within the zone.
Wando Energy, Antam Producing, Sterling Global Oil Resources. There are also companies engaged in gas value chain, like Condensate Refinery. You have the Bokia International, and also companies that are engaged in CNG model station construction. You have Axela, you have Green Fuel, you have Hamakan, you have NGML, I have Cushion Energy.
So there's so much investors' appetite in that location because of the energy-rich nature of the location.
The intention is to significantly increase domestic gas supply, enhance power generation, and accelerate industrialization. We joined officials of the NNPC Limited and its partners for an on-site inspection of Asa Ohaji-Egbema.
So we use the gas to...
Here, more than 113 out of the 130 kilometers OB3 pipelines were already functional.
So the liquids will drop.
The Orashi Free Trade Zone started like a very small facility, just to let people know that this vision is real. Anybody who went to Orashi when it was Nikotas was just like an ordinary company. But because of the policy of government to create the free trade zone there, Orashi became like an industrial complex, billion-dollar, trillion-dollar industrial complex. Lekki Free Trade Zone is less than 20 years old, maybe 15. Today, Dangote Refinery, the world's biggest refinery, is there. There is no other reason why Dangote Refinery is in Lekki other than the fact that there is a free trade zone there. Another key example is Lador. Lador Free Trade Zone was just signed by 2010. By 2014, because it was given a free trade status, Samsung built a $500 million facility there where the first integration of an FPSO was built. So we should be looking at the free trade zone in Orashi as something for the future and near future, not even far.
5-10 years time, that zone will be a completely different world.
In Orashi Special Energy Free Trade Zone, all it is about creating the infrastructure, harnessing the gas in the state, making sure that we build a multi-sector hub which brings in industrialization, brings in the energy use, brings in the opportunity of foreign and direct investment into Imo State.
If you have your plant right where your gas is, it's a no-brainer. Number one, it cuts off that additional cost, the additional investment in terms of laying massive pipeline, the risk you even face. So for me, this is the best that can ever happen in Imo State.
We are ready, we are set to ensure that investors who are coming to Imo State will have no problem at all with power supply to run their businesses.
For our youth will be employed. For our women will be empowered.
We export our goods all over the world. Those whose voice cannot be heard, these Orashi projects will have the impact.
In the long run, it's the community that is going to benefit.
Automatically, darkness will give room for light.
We are delighted. We are excited.
In fact, the excitement in the community is bigger than where you are killing Christmas goat. I tell you that.
Governor Anelo, Lutani, and
we're already building an economy that will be so incredible that will resist all the hazards of doing business.
His Excellency Hope Uzodinma has been extremely supportive. We've met him quite a number of times, giving us assurance on security, ensuring there's peace.
One thing we know for sure is the digitalized security system we're putting in place enables you to have a peace of mind to operate within the zone.
After Simon Bakwe, former governor of Imo State, this is the best governor I've ever seen.
I will remember as the governor who worked with a team of knowledgeable and understanding men and women to be able to achieve the result.
It is now my very special pleasure and privilege to officially flag off this historic endeavor, the hydrographic survey and dredging of the proposed sea route from Oguta Lake to the Atlantic Ocean. This project will fulfill its promise of radical transformation, not only for this economy, but the economy of the Southeast, our nation, and our region, and also for the benefit of all of our peoples. Thank you all very much for listening.
If you want more documentaries on the project transforming Imo State and the wider Southeast, subscribe to 1010 Media, turn on notifications, and join us as we document African stories today for tomorrow.